celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. And what better way to celebrate than listening to some future county executives. So I want to thank you all. My name is Omar Lasso. I am the president of the Latino Democratic Club of Montgomery County. We have several of our board members here today. I just want to introduce them quickly. We have Mark Anthony Robles. We have George Uberes, probably there. Outside we have Dr. Teresa Ramirez. She's inside now. And we also have Luisa Arevalo, who is our treasurer. Anthony is our vice president. And we also have Lisette Engel Orellana outside, who is our secretary. So I just want to welcome you all. Bienvenidos aquí al evento del Club Latino Demócrata. I want to thank you for being here tonight. On behalf of the Latino Democratic Club of Montgomery County, I want to welcome you to this important forum. This is not just another political event. This is a space where our community's voice, our concerns, and our future are at the center. We are living in challenging times. Across the country, Latino communities are being unfairly targeted, whether through ICE kidnappings, harmful rhetoric, inequitable policies, or systemic barriers that leave families feeling invisible and helpless. Here in Montgomery County, we know that diversity is our strength. But we also know representation and strong leadership are essential if we are to truly protect and uplift every community. And as we celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, we are reminded of the resilience, the contributions, and the rich culture that Latinos bring to this country and this nation. But celebration is not enough. We also need action. We need leaders who will stand shoulder to shoulder with us, defend our rights, and make sure the next generation of Latinos thrive with dignity and opportunity. That is why tonight matters. We need a county executive who will fight for equity, for opportunity, and for fairness. Someone who sees the Latino community not as an afterthought, but as an essential partner in building a better Montgomery County. The Latino Democratic Club is committed to making sure our voices are heard, our needs are prioritized, and our contributions are recognized. Tonight is about holding our candidates accountable, asking the tough questions, and ensuring they understand that the Latino vote is powerful and is ready to shape the future of this country. Thank you all for being here, for standing together, and for continuing the fight for justice, dignity, and representation. Together, we will ensure that our community not only survives these trying times, but thrives. Gracias, and let's have a powerful forum. So I'm going to start just quickly. I'm just going to introduce the candidates by name. They'll have the opportunity to introduce themselves. So I will go starting here from the first person at the end of the table. We have the first candidate, Celeste Iroha. Second candidate is Mithun Banerjee. And then we have council member at large, Evan Glass. And we have District 1 council member, Andrew Friedson. And last but not least, we have Will Joando, our Vice President of County Council. And with that, it is my honor to introduce someone that was my representative for many, many years, and we fought a lot of good battles together in the Wheatons, Wheaton, Aspen Hill, Kent Mill, that whole area. But it's my honor, someone who's been president of the club as well, and has been a part of this, and has been someone that's been a leader for the Latino community. It's my honor to present the Honorable Nancy Navarro.
Buenas noches, ya casi. Buenas noches. It is really an honor to be here with the Latino Democratic Club. As it has been stated, we are in some extraordinary times, and it's weird because I feel like, during the pandemic we used to say we are in unprecedented times, but here we are again. I think this is a second wave of a crisis where we are, I think, extraordinarily fortunate to to be in Montgomery County. Trust me, other places, it's not the same. So I'm really excited to be here with all of you. And I first want to ask everyone to give a round of applause to these candidates. I don't think it's easy to step up, especially during these difficult times. So I know it's very difficult. And I also hope that towards the end, once we wrap up, that you have an opportunity to talk to some other candidates that are in the room as well, because this is, I think, almost like the kickoff of the official campaign season. So with that, I'm just going to go over some rules. I told some of my colleagues that I hope I don't get into a mode of like, being the president of the county council in the past, and then I'll start like acting all weird, like show the office, but they'll tell me what to do. But the rules are the following. We will have 1 minute per candidate to respond to each question. So you have to be very, laser focused, everybody, very succinct. I can select up to 2 candidates for a 30-second follow-up for further clarification if it's needed. If a candidate is named or directly referenced by another candidate, they will be granted a 30-second response, okay? But it's at my discretion. Speaking order for the first question will be determined at random before the forum. I hope somebody did that. If not, we'll just do it now. And the order will rotate with each question to ensure fairness. Time limits will be strictly enforced, and we have right here the timekeeper that you guys will be given these warnings, so please respect the warnings. We ask the candidates keep responses focused on policy and community impact. It's really important. And also personal attacks or disrespectful conduct will not be tolerated. Again, this is one opportunity to have civil conversation. All right, so we have a 2-minute opening statement per candidate. So we're going to start with Council Vice President Will Juanda. I told you I was a little rusty.
Well, it's the Vice President's job to help the President, so. You ready? Okay, good evening, everyone. Thanks for having us. I'm Will Juanda, I'm the Vice President of Council, Chair of the Education Committee, and I serve on the Planning, Housing, Parks Committee. But my most important title is husband to Michelle Juanda, who's in the front row here, and father of 4 beautiful children, civil rights lawyer, and I am a professional good troublemaker. And that's what we need right now. We need people who are going to stand up, as was said in the intro, and fight for our community. Montgomery County is a great place, but we know we're under attack at the federal level. 5,000 of our federal employees, including Zola Shaw and some in this room, have already been illegally fired by Donald Trump. They're picking up our neighbors off the street. I talked to a mother the other day who her son was walking the dog, and when ICE came to her door, brought the dog back, but her son was arrested. That's what's happening right now, and we need a fighter. Our economy is going to be hit very hard. All I've done my entire life is fight. Started an NAACP chapter at Catholic University, worked for President Obama, helped pass Obamacare. On the last 7 years of the council, I passed rent stabilization with colleagues and some in this room, the first criminal justice reform in the county's history, and expanded access to small businesses, more minority businesses, funding for those businesses. We need someone who's going to step up. The same old solutions are not going to work. We're going to need to attack both the attack that Trump is doing, but also change the systems and structures that led to the inequality we see in the county right now. And it's going to be a challenging time, but we can do it because Montgomery County is an awesome place. I grew up here in Long Branch. I live in Sandy Spring, Ashton now. I wouldn't want to be any other place in the world, but we're going to have to do some things differently. So I look forward to talking with you about what we're going to do over the next several years, what I have done, and look forward to that dialogue. So thank you very much. It was great to be with you. And Nancy, it's so good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thank you so much.
Good evening. Happy Hispanic and Latino Heritage Month. It is such an honor to be here, and it is fitting, given the growing Latino community that we have. This is the start and the kickoff of this county executive, this political campaign season. So thank you to the Latino Democratic Club for hosting us. I'm Andrew Friedson. I am a second-term council member. I'm chair of the Planning, Housing, and Parks Committee, and I was previously, last year, the council president on the Montgomery County Council. And And I am honored to be here. And I'm honored to be here in community, recognizing that just the fact that we're here for a publicized event is scary. And that is unacceptable. And I have heard from so many people, so many folks who are in this room and many folks who aren't, of the palpable concern that they have just to show up in spaces and in places like this. It speaks to why it's so important that all of us are here, not shying away, but leaning into who we are and what our values are. So thank you for allowing us to have that conversation. There are some differences among us, but there is no daylight in the commitment that we have to fight back against what is happening, the threats to our community, the threats to our values, and the threats to everything that has made Montgomery County the richly diverse place that it is. So thank you so much for being part of that. I have been proud to be a consensus builder, to bring people together to get things done, whether it's affordable housing or climate, providing social services, guaranteeing paid parental leave for county employees. We have been able to build consensus, and if we are going to fight back against the federal administration, if we are going to fight back for our values, we can't fight each other. And that's what this next county executive campaign is going to be about. Who can bring us together to be the strongest and best version of Montgomery County to ensure that everybody in our community, from every corner of our community, can be their full, authentic self.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Glass.
Good evening.
Now it's on. Good evening, everybody. I'm Evan Glass. I'm one of your at-large council members. I've been a resident of downtown Silver Spring for about 25 years. My husband and I live right up the road. It's good to be here. Good to see you, Councilmember Navarro. Thank you to the Latino Democratic Club for kicking off the next 9 months of this long campaign. And thank all of you for joining us on this Friday evening. Montgomery County is the most beautifully diverse place in this country. And we work really hard at it, and we need to continue protecting our diversity, loving our residents, and making sure that everybody is safe here in our community. And I know there's a lot of concern and a lot of fear right now, but we've actually gone through some of this before. During the first Trump term, I was down here in downtown Silver Spring as the executive director of a nonprofit organization called Gandhi Brigade Youth Media, working with high school students, almost all of whom were immigrant. And I saw the fears and I saw the concerns on their face, and we worked as a community to protect them and help them and their families. And then when I got to the council, I began working to help and protect them and our entire community. One of the things that I've done, just one of the things that I've done that we passed earlier this year, was the U Visa Act, the Uplifting Victims and Immigrant Safety Act, making sure that undocumented individuals who are here can actually get safe and protection from our police if they're victims of devastatingly violent crime. It takes courage, it takes know-how, and more important, it takes passion to get things done. There's a lot that we're going to talk about tonight. There's a lot of things that we need to continue doing here in Montgomery County. The county executive might be the head of government, but he also needs a heart. And I look forward to sharing my vision with you over the next hour and a half. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Barney.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? Good evening, everybody. My name is Mithun Banerjee. I was a former tenant and current landlord, father, husband, and a son. And I've been in Montgomery County for almost 17 years in Silver Spring, Maryland. And I'm running here for county executive, and I'm not a politician, I'm a common person. So I'm not going to talk about much, but I'm going to come to the points what I need and what you guys need. I want to help you what I need help for. Freeze property tax for properties less than 1 million and maintain a balanced budget. Provide free childcare by increasing tax on individual earning 1 million plus. Provide affordable housing by public-private partner and address housing issues. Provide free universal pre-K by increasing tax on business profiting more than $1 million. Create small business-friendly environment by cutting red tapes for business. Provide legal support to stop illegal deportation without due process. I can be picked up by ICE because I may not look like American, but I'm a US citizen. Provide affordable health care assistance and support women's right to choose. Provide tax credit to seniors, special needs, and low-income households. Provide free bus passes to students, special needs, and low-income households. Reduce homelessness by providing public housing on no-profit, no-loss basis. Establish a state-of-the-art university in Montgomery County, Maryland. Reduce crimes and allow graduates, students to join police as interns to fill vacancies. Modernize the workforce by having community events on a regular basis. As I said, I am facing these problems. I know there are problems in federal government, but we have a problem in local government also. We are tired of this tax increase that we cannot afford. It's more than 24 or 20 to 30% on an average tax increase happened in the last 10 years.
Thank you, Mr. Bond.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Iroha.
Part of my voice. I had spinal surgeries in April, so I kind of lost it. So like Mithun, is it Mithun? Yes. I am not a politician, but I'm a longtime social justice activist and have been advocating for the past 14 years of my young life, whether that's around gun violence, protecting our basic human rights, knowing that we deserve to have a protected democracy that we do live in. So when I decided to file in February, I was like, I didn't hesitate because I know the seat was up for election in general. So, I lost too many people in Maryland to gun violence. Even in COVID time, my uncle was shot and killed in PG County, knowing that he was just doing his job as a DoorDash driver. I was almost killed myself as an abusive relationship. I sat on the advisory board appointed by Mark Elridge as the Victim Services Advisory Board. So I bring personal experience. I work in healthcare, as you can tell. I just came from work. I'm down the street. And I realized after all these years speaking to elected officials and our government, whether it's local, state, or federal, our government is not really working for us. And as a true Marylander who's been homeless, have to live in my car, I'm privileged to stand here with these people, but I'm not a privileged Marylander. I'm one of you, and that's why, as a daughter of a single mother, as an immigrant daughter, my parents came here, my dad came here for school, but it didn't work out. He decided to join the Army and serve 24 years honorably before he had to medically retire. So I'm not gonna say here I have the most experience, but I do know what I have is passion and a calling to public service. So that's a little about me, but I'm one of you, and so thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Iroha. Okay, so we're going to start this segment. We have selected 5 questions. Of course, there are a lot more questions, but time is limited. However, I'm sure the club will probably follow up with a questionnaire, so there could be some addressing some other issues. But for this segment, everybody's going to have 1 minute to respond. And then we will see if we need rebuttals, etc. So please make sure that your answers are very succinct and to the point. All right, so the first question is a little broad. We're going to talk about your policy priorities. Montgomery County is at a crossroads on multiple fronts, from housing to transportation to education, public safety, and economic development challenges. If elected, what would be your top 3 policy priorities during your first year in office, and how will you ensure they reflect the needs of both historically underserved communities and the county as a whole? Please speak specifically to how your administration would engage with residents in shaping those priorities. And we're going to start on this side with Ms. Iroha.
Thank you so much for the question. So if hopefully elected as the next county executive, as someone that has experience living in a highly, not affordable county, but a great county where we're diverse, the top 3 priorities would be protecting our safety, public safety, our affordable health care, and affordable housing. Like, across the street from my job is a penthouse being built where 4 bedrooms, even 1 bedroom is up to $3,000. Nobody cannot afford that in Montgomery County. I've been evicted before, like I shared, so I understand what it needs. If they don't have affordable housing, nobody can have a good education. They relate. So like I said, I'm not a part of the privileged community, but I do have a passion for making sure our community is affordable, making sure we have law enforcement that's going to protect our community, not just based on how we look, but because we deserve the same safety that everybody else, not just the select few.
Thank you so much. All right. Mr. Banerjee.
Thank you very much, Ms. Nancy. So top three, I will go with top four, try to squeeze in with the time. So my first priority is, as I am facing right now, property tax increase for all Montgomery County. Why not tax the houses that are more than $1 million? Just increase their property tax, not for all people who are working hard. Number one, provide free childcare by increasing tax on individuals for $1 million earnings. They are getting a lot of money from the big beautiful or maybe big ugly girls. Tax them. Provide affordable housing by public-private partner by address housing issues. So if you are increasing property tax, how you can provide affordable housing makes no sense. Another one I would like to say is that modernize the workforce. What you need to do is that bring people, the county government to your community and do the work. And also stop illegal deportation without due process.
Thank you so much, Mr. Banerjee.
Thank you.
Now we're here from Councilmember Glass, top three priorities in your first year.
Top three priorities. First, economic development. We got to get more people in jobs. We got to make it easier to start jobs. We got to make it easier to open restaurants. There are too many people coming from El Salvador who want to open up a pupuseria. We have people coming from Ethiopia who make the best injera, and it is too hard for our immigrant community to open up simple restaurants in Montgomery County. So we got to streamline the permitting process. Secondly, MCPS. We have a wonderful school system. We have to continue investing in it, making sure that it is equitable and every child has the best opportunity to learn regardless of their zip code. Third priority, it is too expensive to live in Montgomery County. We have to continue building more housing because when we build more housing, there is more housing that is affordable.
Thank you. Councilmember Vincent.
Three priorities: housing affordability, economic competitiveness, and educational outcomes. We can deliver on those by actually engaging the community, and the only way to do that is to make sure as county executive that I have a cabinet that is reflective of our diverse community, that we're hearing from every voice in our community from all across our community, and of course, given the growth and the size and the importance of the Latino community, that would include engagement and involvement and Latino community leaders in the decision-making process and as part of our cabinet. We can only do what we talk about if we actually deliver and execute. The county executive's job isn't to make policy, it's to execute policy, and we have to execute better than we have been. And the only way to do that is to make sure that we are engaging the community, we are hearing from everybody in the community, we are listening, and we are acting and providing and delivering on the results. So absolutely, we need economic development, we need educational outcomes, and we need housing
Council
affordability.
Vice President Joanda.
Everyone in Montgomery County should have access to the ability to thrive. You do that by investing in education. As chair of the Education Committee, I fought for the last 6 years to make sure we increase MCPS's budget and accountability. I want to make sure we establish universal pre-K for all 4-year-olds. That won't happen in the first year. Nancy knows how hard that is. 2, affordable housing. You do that in 3 ways. You produce more, you build more affordable housing, you protect renters, and you preserve existing affordable housing and prevent displacement. And there's things in each of those that I have proposed. And then we must grow our economy. 95% of our businesses are small, including both my parents have small businesses. We have to make sure it's easier to start and run a business, and we have to make sure that they have the supports that they need. And I have 15 seconds. Why is that important? Because if we're going to grow, if we're going to take care of each other, and we're going to have public safety, you have to have education, affordable housing, and a strong economy. Those are the top 3. There's a lot of other issues, but I think those are the biggest 3.
Thank you so much. All right, the second question is about immigration and enforcement. Currently, fear of federal immigration enforcement, including ICE raids, remains a significant concern for many Latino and immigrant families in Montgomery County, affecting their ability to access essential services, attend school, and report crimes. In 2016, the county established a critical response plan, which included a legal defense fund, culturally proficient linguistic communications plan, capacity building for legal assistance for organizations, an HHS assessment team, that included a comprehensive team of social workers, behavioral health crisis workers, reunification workers, and minority health initiatives to leverage community support and outreach recruitment to foster parents in partnership with the National Center for Children and Families. Most recently, in 2021, the county established the Bienvenidos Newcomers Initiative as the county experienced a surge in unaccompanied minors. As county executive, do you believe that these measures are sufficient? If you do, explain why, and if you don't, what additional actions will you take to reinforce and strengthen the county's commitment to protecting its immigrant residents, and how would you county agencies prioritize the safety and trust of our immigrant communities? And I'm going to start in the middle with Councilmember Glass.
Well, first off, thank you, Councilmember Navarro, for all the work that you did during your 3.5 terms on the council. You led the way, and it is your initiatives. It was your initiatives that let us be a safe place and set up all the protections that we have. So let's first get this out of the way. We do not and will not cooperate with ICE, full stop. And so we have too many of our kids and their parents who are scared to death right now. And we need to make sure that they not only know that we are here for them and will protect them, but we also have to reach out to them and let them know that county services are available to them. We have a great social safety net, but what we have to do is make sure that they know that. So that means increasing communication, increasing our nonprofit partnerships, increasing the level of buy-in that we have for more members of the community. And I'd go even further and say that we need signage at county facilities letting individuals know that we will not ask for their immigration status here in Montgomery County.
Thank you so much. Councilmember Friedson.
Thank you. I'll echo the kudos to you, Nancy, for your work on the council and really getting us to this point. It is a really good start, but it is a foundation that we need to build upon. And I think you would force us to do that and push us to do that as you have been. In order to address these issues, we need a plan, and we need to execute that plan. First of all, we need concrete communications. It needs to be timely, it needs to be accurate, and we need to make sure that no misinformation is festering around the community. It is hard enough to deal with what is actually happening. To have to deal with things that aren't happening, that are sowing fear and mistrust, is unacceptable, and the county government needs to be the leader on that. We need to establish a task force and build upon what has already been established, but bring in MCPS and every other agency and partner on this. And it needs to be 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, so that we can be responsive to community needs. And then we need to be focusing on mental health, because the toll that this is taking on our families, on our communities, and our kids is completely unacceptable. And county government needs to step up to help and support them.
Thank you so much. Vice President Juwan.
First of all, continue to not coordinate with ICE in any way. We have to be an example of a place that supports all of our neighbors. 1/3 of our residents are foreign born. The largest group of kids in our school system are our Latino students. I'm involved as chair of the education committee. We had to set up an impromptu parent meeting because in my neighborhood of Long Branch, people were being rounded up by ICE, and as they dropped kids off, and the principal there said, "We're gonna let you stay in here and have a parent meeting." We have to coordinate things like that. We've held two with a couple of hundred MCPS teachers around how to respond. Education and Culture Committee is working on that as well. I see Councilmember Albanaz here. So one, we have to stand up. Mayor Brandon Johnson, Chicago, is a friend of mine. He's doing an event for me next week. He lined up the salt trucks to keep the guard out of that city. We're gonna have to do some things that haven't been done before. You know, task force and government spending and all that, we're gonna do that. We do that already. We're gonna have to do some other things. And I'm gonna be an executive who stands up to Donald Trump.
Thank you so much, Council Vice President. Mr. Zarnichuk?
Thank you very much. I think whatever work has been happening, or the policies are there, are good starting point, but it's not working. Because people are still getting round up. So as your next county executive, if I get elected, I'm going to instruct the Montgomery County Police, if there is a 911 call, go there and see if there is a judge's order for deportation or not. As Bill Clinton said, former president, this is a country of immigrants. This is the country of laws. So not only the government, everybody should follow the laws. And if they are not, we should ask the ICE agent to leave that person and Police should come and involve and help those residents so that they don't get picked up by ICE. Not only that non-cooperation, but the police should come and protect those residents. That's what they are getting paid for. Protection of residents is not there. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Hiroa.
Like I said before, I'm a daughter of immigrant parents, so I stand with everybody that's what's going on in the news right now. I can't sit back and watch as parents are working hard. I work in one of the most diverse careers. My coworkers are Hispanic. I can't speak Spanish, but I love what y'all do. I love your language. Your community is beautiful. I have lived next to people that actually, a 12 in an apartment building, but making it work. And that's just the drive that, we have to stand together in this untrying time of craziness in DC. I have been zip tied in the Capitol because I was fighting for climate change in Kevin McCarthy's office. And if that means I have to go back there, I will, on behalf of y'all, because there's no reason anybody working hard or a child going to school should have to fear that their parent's not going to be there when they come home. They go to work, they pay their taxes, they want to get citizenship the legal way, but you go to their courthouses and you still detain them. Where's the democracy that we should have?
Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, now we'll talk about language access and cultural proficiency. What specific actions would your administration take to strengthen language access and cultural proficiency across all county agencies and staff so that every resident feels welcome and understood? We'll start with Ms. Hiroa.
Ethnic-wise, I'm Nigerian, so we need a language translation, whether that's a task force that brings every diverse ethnicity group out here. Because Montgomery County is not just one group. We are diverse. We are built of diversity. That's what this country is built of. No matter historic oppression, not one race is bigger than the other. So when we're talking about what we can do to make sure our language is protected, whether that's fought for, whether that's, you can come here, you can speak Spanish, you can speak Igbo, you can speak Yoruba, you can speak whatever language you feel, but if you're comfortable speaking, and you're not judged by how you speak, you're not a citizen because you don't speak the English native tongue. So we're gonna create something that builds upon translators being there where you need them, interpreters being there when you need them. Ethnic groups really are the diversity of Montgomery County, and we need to bring them together, hiring people that will stand up for us.
Thank you so much. Okay. Mr. Barnage.
Thank you very much. So first of all, I'd like to share my personal experience. Montgomery County, there is discrimination is present, very much. I was assaulted in my own house by Montgomery County police, and then Internal Affairs found those police were at fault. I'm not a criminal, I'm running for county executive. And also, when I was discussing a matter with police, I said I was working for federal government. The police said, what are you doing, janitor? Just because of my color of the skin. This is how Montgomery County is working with the current leadership. You need a change. You need a leader who looks like you, who feels like you, talks like you, and go through the pain like you. I have been bitten by police inside my house. That is the problem. And the only problem that we have been discriminated because of our appearance, color of skin, and the way we speak. So that has to be removed. And the current county executive or the leadership is not doing a good job. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Moss.
Thank you for the question. I think there are two ways we have to do this. One, we have to actually hire more translators so that we have more services throughout the county. But secondly, the county executive is in charge of a very large government. The bureaucracy has about 10,000 employees. We have a $7.6 billion budget within the county. We have Office of Public Information that help do press releases and information. We have the Office of Community Partnerships, which help go into the communities and talk to people on the street corner, in their living rooms, in their houses of worship. We also have 95 different boards, committees, and commissions, which are made up of our beautiful diversity. This is the tapestry that we have here. We just have to have somebody who knows how to update it and modernize it so that many of the existing functions work even better to serve more people.
Thank you so much. Councilmember Friesen.
Our county has changed and is continuously changing, and if we're not changing with it as county government, we are failing. And the good news is we have proven models that have worked and are working, and we need to build on them, but do a lot more than we've done. The Saludi Bienestar is a great example of that with the Latino Health Initiative, and Nancy and Gabe and others, Sonia Mora and others who are involved in that deserve a lot of credit. We can build on these efforts. We can build on things like Abuelita, which was the messenger during COVID, which led to the Latino community having higher vaccination rates than the white community, because it was a focus group that found out who would respond and how would they respond by culturally specific communities, not just language, but culture. And then lastly, things like the mobile clinic that we were able to do with Casa Ruben, that I worked together with Gabe Albernos and with Dr. Peralta. We were able to deliver 25,000 vaccinations to children across the county by partnering with our trusted nonprofit partners, by bringing the business community and leaders in our community together to get things done.
Thank you. All right, Vice President Joando.
Thank you. We speak 162 languages in Montgomery County. It's a pretty amazing thing. In MCPS, they for a long time, shout out to President Yang here, they translate in Carla, I don't want to leave you out, into the top 6 languages. County government, we're still not fully doing that. We need to catch up and do that for every type of government service. So part of it is translation. 2, we need to recruit, train, hire, and retain people who speak other languages. If you take the first generation and sons of immigrants or daughters of immigrants like me, 45% of the population is in that group. We've got a lot of folks who speak other languages. Let's tap in and build that capacity. That's going to be a big part of what we need to do. And then finally, we need to make sure, we just had a hearing on the Education Committee yesterday, we need to make sure we're helping people learn English. And we fund a lot of folks through McHale and through Montgomery College, tens of thousands, but there's not enough funding in there because when folks come here, they should be able to speak their language, but also learn English so that they can move up the economic ladder. So we need to hit it from both ways.
Thank you so much. Okay, this topic was also mentioned, economic development and Latino businesses. Latino entrepreneurs and small businesses are vital to Montgomery County's economy. In the past, efforts such as the Wheaton Redevelopment, the Wheaton Library, Small Business Impact Program, Montgomery County Economic Development Corporation's Minority Small Business Liaison position, Procurement Task Force recommendations have made an impact, but much more needs to be done. In addition to these efforts, what is your plan as county executive to foster economic development within the Latino community, support Latino-owned businesses, and ensure that equitable access to resources, capital, and county contracts are actually in place? We will start with Vice President Joando.
Give me the hard ones first.
Of course.
A couple things, speed round. During COVID, we froze rent for residential, but I also created a program that the council support to help businesses pay their rent. We launched it in Long Branch. The number one cost for small businesses is their actual lease space, and it's killing them right now. So we have to have more support, but also look into making sure that those prices don't continue to rise astronomically. The other thing is we need to make it easier to get a permit. You know, we're helping a small business at Four Corners right now build 400 square feet on top. They're being told it's going to cost a couple $100,000 more to get the permit than to build. That's crazy. We got to change that. And then the final thing with our economy, if we invest in education, we invest in language access, we invest in small businesses, which again are 95%, you're going to see economic growth, and we can support people more in that way. And then we have to have a fair tax system too. A lot of our small businesses are filing and getting hit harder than some of our big businesses, so I think we can do some adjustments there.
Thank you. Councilmember Freeton?
We will only reach our full potential economically if we are allowing for opportunities, creating opportunities for everybody in our community. That means being intentional and inclusive with our economic development. That's why when I was council president, when we did the new jobs initiative, we got support to make that happen, that $20 million fund, we created a 20% bonus for community equity index areas. We ensured that there was a founders equity fund as part of that effort to ensure that those entrepreneurs that were historically under-resourced and underrepresented in these grant programs had specific opportunities to make that happen. We need to continue to focus on making it easier to grow a business in Montgomery County. The story of our immigrant community is the story of ingenuity, of creation and of opportunity, and we have to make it easier for the brilliance and the ingenuity of our community to reach their full potential, and the county government can be a partner in making that happen.
Thank you so much. Councilmember Glass.
Over the last number of years, I've had the opportunity to go into a lot of restaurants, a lot of bakeries, talk to folks, eat some really good stuff. And I was down at La Casita talking to the owner there. I was at Ooh La La Bakery up in Wheaton talking to the owner there. And the thing they have in common, aside from really good food, is they both were stuck in permitting regulatory heck. Our local government isn't helping them. We need to snap out of it. Permitting reform is not sexy. But when we have 1/3 of our residents coming here from other countries, not only is there a language barrier and government barriers, but we need to make it easy for them. And so one of the things that I'm going to do on day one as county executive is hire a director of permitting services to go through our regulatory system and start making it easier. And we can do that without sacrificing health, without sacrificing workers' rights, and without sacrificing safety.
Thank you so much. Mr. Barton.
Thank you for the question. Energy, yeah, that's what I forgot. So you heard from all politicians, now hear from a business owner. I'm doing business for 16, 17 years and struggling. You know why? I was doing very good before COVID, but after COVID, we lost a lot of rents because of the program, because tenant has to apply for grants so that landlord get paid. When I take my computer to the tenant, they say, why should I? You're going to get the money, not us. They just vanished. We have thousands of dollars lawsuits in circuit court. This is our current politician giving it to us, poverty, because we are working hard. And what I need to do is that Montgomery County government is horrible. They need to come to all community with all their licenses and employees and have a community event where people can come and apply and get 1 point shop on the same place, so that they don't have to go run around 311, run around service request, run around one door to another door, and they don't have time. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, Ms. Yoga.
As somebody that owns several nonprofit organizations, I can't put them in person. The only reason I can't do that is because the permit and the spaces are pretty out of my bucket range right now. I don't make a lot of money, I'll be honest with y'all. But as someone that knows that our businesses are ran or founded by either Latino, whether that's African Americans or Nigerians, wherever you get your ethnic food from, you get your pupusas, you get the quesadillas from. Y'all make the best quesadillas, by the way. But you guys literally are the diversity that we need when it comes to these businesses. You have Ethiopian restaurants down the street, but can they afford to stay open? No. Because Montgomery County is one of the most wealthiest counties, and I'm glad to live here, but we have to do something that can make sure they can actually keep their doors open. They cannot close, because this is a way they provide for their families. And so hopefully the next county executive, we're gonna create a task force that is built by you, that is run by the Hispanic community. And as one of you, that's basically what we're doing.
Thank you so much. All right, so another topic that has been brought up in these responses is affordable housing and displacement. Montgomery County continues to face an affordable housing crisis, with rising costs displacing longtime residents, particularly in historic diverse communities. What specific strategies will your administration pursue to not only increase affordable housing, but also prevent displacement and ensure geographically equitable development? And we're going to start with Ms. Yoga.
So this is a topic that's very important to me. Like I said, I haven't always had a roof over my head. I've lived in my car for weeks. I've lived in a shelter for weeks until my mom was able to get a job and we were able to get back into our apartment where we could live. But affordable housing is not here right now. I don't see it. Yes, Mark Elrich is trying his best to get them where we need, but they're putting them in congested places. I can't, like, if I go somewhere and I see affordable housing, great, but can I get out of these congested areas? No. So we need to either make more affordable housing, which we are going to do, but less congested, because downtown Silver Spring, I work 20 minutes from my house. I'm late every single day to work because he's trying to implement these affordable housing communities where they don't have space to be. So as somebody that has been displaced, that has been underrepresented and underserved, I would make sure that our task force or our office would actually know what the people want and know, because I have personal experience. It is very personal to me.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Banerjee?
Thank you. So as a small business owner, and especially in the real estate, if somebody can give you affordable housing, that's going to be me. Because they don't have experience. They can talk, but not walk the walk. So my point is provide affordable housing by public-private partners and address housing issues. There are two projects happens, Forest Glen and Silver Spring Downtown, which is a good starting point. I should give the credit where it's due. But what I need to do is that we have to reduce homelessness by providing public housing on no profit, no loss basis, just so that people can live, not be homeless. No profit, no loss means county doesn't make loss, county doesn't make profit, so that people just pay the maintenance and stay in the housing. That's my model. And also what I am planning to do is, I didn't increase the rent. When the property tax increase, I increase my rent. So cap the rent. So if you want to cap the rent, cap the property tax.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you. Councilman Glass?
It is really expensive to live in Montgomery County, and it has been getting increasingly expensive over the last number of years. Before I joined the council, I served as vice chair of the board of Montgomery Housing Partnership, which is the county's largest nonprofit provider of affordable housing. What we need to do is continue providing more support for those housing providers. We need to increase the funding that goes to the Housing Initiative Fund. The Housing Initiative Fund not only provides support to build affordable housing, but also to retain housing that is already affordable. And at the same time, there's lots of conversations about whether or not we build housing in certain parts of the community. And I know that that is a concern to a lot of people, but I know that our kids and our grandkids cannot afford to live in Montgomery County. These are really tough conversations. It's going to require more money, it's going to require more ingenuity, and it's going to require us all to come together because our kids and our grandkids deserve it.
Thank you so much. Councilman Fulton?
A county that isn't affordable isn't sustainable. This is the issue that has animated my entire time on the county council. It's why I ran for county council, and it's why I'm running for county executive. We do not have an affordable county, and we need to address this issue. And we have been working on it, but we have a lot more to do. The $100 million housing production fund that we've created, we need to grow and build that, and we're working on that. Another $50 million at least would help us to build on those public-private partnerships that we're already doing to create more affordable housing. We need to make it easier to build affordable housing in more places. The Faith ZTA that I worked on with Kate Stewart that allows places of worship to be part of this solution with us. Our nonprofit pilot program that I worked on with Hans Riemer, that allows nonprofits to partner with us to deliver. And to address displacement, because it's an and, not an or issue, we created the $50 million nonprofit preservation fund, the most significant preservation effort that any regional jurisdiction is doing, so that we can help to protect the naturally occurring affordable housing that we have in our community. We must do both. It's an and issue to create more options, to create more opportunities.
Thank you. Vice President Jawanda?
Everyone agrees that this is the biggest issue, including you. The Baltimore Banner put out a poll. #1 issue for folks is affordability of housing. So you're not going to find disagreement there. The challenge is, what do you do about it? And it's going to take a total changing of our system. We're going to have to ask developers to do more, take the speculation and greed out of the market. They don't need 20%. You know why the Housing Production Fund, which we did, works? It's because it returns and revolves with a 5% return. And that's why we can have mixed income communities. You have to preserve naturally occurring affordable housing and not push people out. Don't create incentives to inflate the price of the land to kick those folks out on the corridors, like some of the policies that we've done. Then you have to protect renters. 50% of the Latino community rent, 60% of the African American community rent. You have to have a balanced policy approach that isn't just giving the money away, because we don't have enough money to give away. And we're going to have to do it. And then we have to build with cheaper materials. And we have to bring new developers into the mix. And there's things we can do on that front too, but it's going to take a full approach.
Thank you so much. All right, so before we get into the audience questions, I have a quick question. It's just a yes or no answer. In 2019, the council, we all held hands and worked to pass one of the strongest racial equity and social justice laws in the country. And this particular law requires an equity impact note for every bill, for every budgetary decision, in order for the county council and the executive to have data and understand whether disparities are closing or whether they are exacerbating. This is a very important tool because it helps the leadership, when they're making decisions, understand if they're investing or if they're making these particular decisions and whether that is helping this very diverse county. The Inspector General just released a report that said that the law is not being implemented at fidelity. I would like to know, and we will start with Ms. Doha, if you're county executive, do you commit to following the recommendations of the Inspector General and implement this very groundbreaking, important law, especially for the communities of color in Montgomery County? Yes or no?
Yes.
Thank you. Margaret?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Councilmember Glass?
Thank you for introducing and passing that law, Councilmember. The answer is yes.
You did, and yes.
Awesome. Councilmember Wando?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, they're on record, everybody. All right. So now, thank you so much. This concludes the questions that were sent. Now we're going to go into some audience questions. How does financial support and endorsements from developer community truly jive with the affordable housing and rent control? And I'm just going to pick some folks because for time, How does financial support and endorsements from the developer community, it says jive, correspond, aligns with the affordable housing and rent control agenda, with your rent control and affordable housing agenda? We'll start, I'll have Councilmember Glass. We'll start with you, just random.
I'm in public financing and have been in public financing ever since I got elected. So there are no special interests that control me. The only people I respond to and report to are you, the voters, and everything that I've ever done is because of you, the voters.
Thank you. Ms. Quiroga.
Like you said, I'm literally for you. I'm not gonna go with anything that's against my values and my goals for running for the seat. So if it's not from you, I'm not taking big bucks to go prioritize somebody else or somebody's big business. So it's all for you because it's grassroots based.
Thank you. Councilmember Fitzgerald.
I'm proud of the support that I've received, the grassroots coalition that we have continued to build. I only support policies based on data, and the reason why I didn't support the rent control bill was because the data didn't support it. And right now, the fact that we have no new housing being built in Montgomery County reflects the fact that it's not working. And we need to think about that and address it because production is a huge part of the housing challenges that we face. When it comes to housing, affordability and affordable housing programs, everybody's talking about the Housing Production Fund. The reason why that works is that it's a public-private partnership with developers, with nonprofit providers, with Housing Opportunity Commission. The only way we're gonna solve the housing crisis is if everybody is on deck. And this idea that we will vilify some of the people in our community that we need to invest in our community is not going to work. We cannot survive by fighting each other. If we're gonna fight back against the challenges that we face and we're gonna seriously address these issues, we have to bring people together, and that's what I'm committed to doing.
Thank you. All right, we're gonna move on to another quick question. 37% of Black students cannot read.
Excuse me,
I'm sorry.
We didn't have a chance to answer.
No, because we don't have time for everybody to respond. These are the community, the audience questions. So I'm just gonna randomly select people so that we can get to all of them. 37% of Black students cannot read on grade level. Free and reduced meal eligible students have some of the worst outcomes and were the highest suspended group. Tying income and class to poor outcomes. Neither group is considered a special population, nor receive specialized interventions. What are the measurable outcomes that anyone currently sitting in office can point to that proves that you have truly held MCPS accountable, as you say you have? And I will say those that are not in office right now, how will you address this issue and hold MCPS accountable? Mr. Barnage.
So, first of all, let me tell you a couple of facts and figures of MCPS. There are $7.2 billion our Montgomery County budget. Out of that, $3.65 billion goes to MCPS. And you know what? How much the county MCPS superintendent of Montgomery County Public School makes? $360,000 a year. How much the vice president of the United States makes? $235,000. How much the current county executive makes? $230,000 to $40,000. And how much the governor Westmore makes? $184,000. How much the county council member makes? $167,000. How much the lieutenant governor makes? $165,000. I will promise you, once get elected, I'm gonna slash my salary into half.
Thank you.
100,000 to 120,000.
Thank you so much.
And save money, put it to MCBS.
Council Vice President Jawando.
Thank you. I lose sleep about this every night. I got 4 kids, all who have attended MCPS or are there now. We've made some progress, right? 2-point gain between this year and last year in Latino students in reading. It's not enough. We're still 24 points behind white students, even more behind Asian students. But one thing I will say, the reason I fought so hard to fund MCPS, you can't do more with less. You have to have, it's hard to be in a classroom of 30 kids, half of whom are in poverty, 10 of whom speak English as a second language, and another 10 who have an IEP. You have to give them the support, the paraeducators, the translation to do the job. And then you have to hold them accountable. And we've done that. We've held hundreds of hearings in the Education and Culture Committee. We got a budget this year that actually you could go line by line and click and see where things are going. We have more work to do, absolutely, but we're getting there, and it's going to be a #1 priority for me as county executive.
Thank you so much. Councilmember Glass.
We invest a lot in Montgomery County public schools, and we need to. Our kids deserve the best education, our educators deserve the highest salaries, and we need to make sure that funding is spread equitably throughout our 500 square miles. In return for those record level of funding, we need transparency. The $3.6 billion we have given to MCPS this year, it is the most transparent budget I have seen on the council. And it's also because I've written an op-ed in the Washington Post, an op-ed in Bethesda Beat saying we need greater budget transparency. I've spoken to Governor Wes Moore saying, as we move forward with the blueprint and invest more in our kids and invest more in our educators, the social compact should be that they open up their budget so we see where the money is going. And if there's more money that's needed to certain areas of the county, to certain demographics, to certain schools, we need to direct the money there.
Thank you. Okay, the next question from the audience on supporting young adults with disabilities. The recreational guide has only 3 to 4 pages of activities. A fraction of those are for adults. As a parent of a child with special needs and that has been waiting for a program for almost a year, I'm disappointed to learn that even our county ignores us. The A in DEIA is accessibility. How will you address this issue, especially up county? We'll start with Councilmember Friedson.
This is such an important issue, and I really appreciate Gabe Albernaz, who has led the way on separating out the way in which our county is looking at disability issues to make sure we're looking at IDD issues separately than we are physical disability issues. We need to be addressing both, but they're unique challenges that require different sets of issues. When I was at the state level, I helped to launch the Disability Savings Program statewide. We did that, and it's been effective because we did outreach to the community, understanding what they need, and delivered on those issues. That's true in the Parks Department, it's true in the Rec Department, it's true across the board. We need to make sure that we make our community as accessible as possible, and there's a lot of work to do, but it starts with the actual people who are impacted and the actual people who are affected by these issues to make sure they have a seat at the table. We now have the infrastructure to do that. We have to deliver on the results based on what they recommend to us, and as county executive, I am more than committed to doing that.
Thank you so much. Ms. Sedona.
So currently I'm on ADA, so I currently understand. Access to Montgomery County, either that's Montgomery County or across the whole for somebody that has a disability.
It's for recreational programs
Of course,
that adults
yeah.
with disabilities can access.
Okay, so we need to make it accessible. That's the word. It's accessible. There's no other definition because that's what it means. You have to be able to allow them to do what the next person can do. There's something I can't do as an adult right now. The next person can do more than me. So if we're supposed to stand in equality and equity and build on that word, we need to actually know what it defines as. So accessibility can't be for some, it has to be for all.
Thank you so much. And now, Councilmember Tawanda.
So, issue of students with disabilities, huge issue, then transitioning in the gap, huge issue. Many of us rallied this year to push the governor to not cut funding to the disability community. I was there with, it was a bipartisan issue, and thankfully he reconsidered. It is a rising, one of the fastest growing groups in MCPS and in our, which is reflective of our community, is students and young adults with disabilities. Councilmember Alvarez has done a great job as chair of HHS to make sure that we're bridging those gaps. We don't have unlimited funds. We have to raise more money to meet that need. We've done a lot here in the county, but there's more to do. The Recreation Department has some great programs. Again, not enough funding, not enough access, so we have to ramp that up over time, and that'll be part of our plan to meet the needs of students and adults with disabilities.
Great, thank you so much. All right, so this will be the last audience question. What are you going to do to ensure young people in the county can afford to stay in the county and raise their families here? Councilmember Glass.
I think this is the most important question that's before us. You know, it actually costs about $100,000, a little more, to put a child through MCPS. That's the cost and the investment that we are putting in our kids in Montgomery County Public Schools. And we want to make sure that we as a community have a good return on investment. And that means making sure that our kids and grandkids can continue to move back into the communities where they grew up. And they're not able to do that right now because it is too expensive. And what we have to do is make sure that we do have more housing that is affordable at all price points. We do a really good job of making sure that we provide housing for low-income residents. We also have to provide housing for middle-class residents, for kids who just graduate from college, from people who are first-year teachers and second-year teachers. And then we also have to make sure that we have a local economy where they actually can live and work and have a job that pays their bills. We have been relying too far on Donald Trump. He's changing our economy. We got to change our economy.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Friedman.
Last year, even before the Trump administration's assault on the federal workforce and on our community, home prices were up 11.2%. Wages were only up 1.7%. It's completely unsustainable, and it is squeezing young people who are trying to start their families out of our community. 26,000 of them have left our community. If we are not addressing this head on, we are missing the entire dynamic. We need to make housing much more affordable, creating more options and more opportunities at every level of affordability. We need to make childcare more accessible and more affordable to more families. And I worked on making home-based childcare easier to make happen in Montgomery County, recognizing especially for our immigrant community and our women-owned business community, making childcare more affordable and home-based childcare more accessible is critical. And then we need jobs that actually pays family supporting wages so that people can move up the economic ladder. That's why most people come to this country, to create opportunities for themselves and for their children, and we need to make sure we're creating those opportunities for them.
Thank you. Councilmember Joando.
This is the question, right? So I said universal pre-K for all 4-year-olds. We have 4 kids, $2,000 a month per kid per year, 0 to 4. If we can reduce that cost, that's going to be help families a lot. We need to make sure we make housing more affordable. We've talked a lot about that. There's a lot of ways to do that, including rent stabilization, which we need to keep. And some people up here don't want to keep it. We've got to keep it. Summer Rise. I invested in workforce development. 10,000 plus students have gotten a summer internship because of this program we created 8 years ago. We need to make sure there's more pathways into jobs for our young people. The $1 billion in procurement that we do a year, this kind of to the question earlier. I passed a bill that raised it from 20 to 25% for minority-owned businesses, Latino businesses as well. We need to keep that number going up and make sure it's actually being done with fidelity. A big way to get your foot in the door is to get access to government procurement. Again, we do $1 billion. And the last thing I'll mention, we have to keep investing in education and wraparound service programs in our healthcare safety net.
Thank you so much. All right, this is a question for everybody. This is the fun question, because we're celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month, so we have to have some fun too. Can you share what is your favorite aspect of Latino culture, and can you name 3 Bad Bunny songs? But if you want to, you can. We'll start with Ms.
Honestly, I'm gonna name 2 things, important things that I stand with when it comes to the Latino community. 1 is the hardworking drive that you guys have. And 2, it is the music. I will be dancing alongside y'all. So, as a cultural diverse person myself, I will be salsa-ing you know, doing all you gotta do.
Definitely. Mr. Banerjee.
Thank you. I myself is an immigrant, so I have great respect for immigrants. And I think the secretary of the Latino Democratic Club has a blog who mentioned that. I read it very nicely. We have to work 2-3 times harder than the people who are born here and privileged. I'm not going to name anybody. But another thing I wanted to say, Israel has a rights to self-defense, but they have no rights to create genocide. I hear you. And I am supporting the Moses Cemetery. Once elected, it's not gonna have a building on top of people's where they've been put in for rest in peace. And also, we need to hear, because none of the county council members can read what people want them to read. I am not a politician, so I can read. Simple as that. Listen, none of these county council members gave me a meeting time to meet them when I got assaulted. Right now I have a peace order. I got assaulted in my own house by a former tenant. I have a current peace order right now. None of these county council members are up for that.
My favorite aspect of Latino culture is the passion. And I think that's going to be really important moving forward, because when we face some really tough times, you're going to need to continue advocating for your community, advocating for all of us, and you're going to do it with forthrightness to make sure that we get through this together. And if things aren't being done right, you're going to tell us. And I look forward to hearing from you what your favorite Bad Bunny songs are after you go to the concert.
I am going to a Bad Bunny concert tomorrow night.
Jealous. We're all jealous.
It pays to have children that work in those areas. All right, Councilmember Friedson.
Well, it's easy for me to say food, it's easy for me to say music and dancing, but I have to say the entrepreneurial spirit of the Latino community. Earlier today, I had coffee with Mario, who started his business on March 7th, 2020, when we were just learning what the words COVID-19 meant and how it was going to completely uproot our lives. And through perseverance and hard work and what so many immigrants in our community throughout our country and throughout history have done, he somehow defied every imaginable obstacle and has built a hugely successful business. I want to help create more of those opportunities, and that's what I love about the Latino community.
Thank you, Council Vice President Jordan.
Thank you. I'm going to go with the 3 F's: faith, food, and family. They're things that align with my belief system, and while not everyone has all 3, I guarantee you most Latino people are going to have 1 or 2 of those that are really important to them. And there's so many of all of those here in the county. My dad came here in 1970 seeking opportunity, like so many people in Montgomery County, fleeing a civil war at that time and looking for economic opportunity. And he found it in Langley Park, with mostly in Long Branch, with mostly Latino neighbors and African immigrant neighbors. And it's something I'll always remember. I'm so thankful that I grew up here with those folks. And I can't name 3 Bad Bunny songs, but the one with Cardi B, I think, and I Like It. I like that one a lot. Can you sing it? I cannot sing it, but I can name it.
He can probably dance to it. All right, so another important question. What keeps you hopeful? And we'll start from Councilmember Vice President Rwanda, and we'll come this way. What keeps you hopeful? This is a question from a member of the audience.
This room keeps me hopeful, in all of its thorns and thistles, the activism, the care, the fact that everyone up here I know wants their community to be better. In the face of what Donald Trump is doing to dismantle our country and our democracy, Montgomery County is a shining light, and we have to continue to be that, even in the midst of our disagreements. And we're going to have them about how to best continue to do that, but I'm so hopeful. I was with a room of 40 ACES students ambassadors. It's a great program we have here. And these are kids that at Montgomery College that they're helping to recruit high school students into ACES, which helps them get to and through. It's all kids of color. And they gave me hope. These are 18, 19-year-old kids that want to have an impact in Montgomery County, are scared about what's happening, but it's not letting them stop, want to do good. So that's what gives me hope.
Thank you so much. Councilman Johnson.
There isn't a problem in our community that can't be solved by the people in our community. That's what gives me hope. Our richly diverse community is coming together like we always have, and our backs have been up against the wall. During COVID, we stepped up. It wasn't county government stepping up, it was county government seeking the support and the help from trusted community partners, from the folks in the community, the talent that we have right here in Montgomery County. That's why we had the best vaccination rates of any large county in the United States. It wasn't because of any elected official in Montgomery County. It was because of Montgomery County residents. It was because of you. That's what gives me hope. I know that we face horribly difficult moments ahead, but we are going to come together. And with the right leadership, we're going to stop fighting each other, and we're going to start working together with each other, and we are going to make sure that we are prepared for whatever comes ahead, and we're going to turn this crisis, and it is a crisis, into an opportunity. And 20 years from now, we're going to look back and know that we did it together.
Thank you. Councilman Glass.
These are scary times. You know, we're just about a mile away from the DC border, and we see what's happening down on Pennsylvania Avenue, and it is frightening. But there is no place I would rather be than here in Montgomery County, home to 4 of the 10 most diverse communities in the entire country: Germantown, Gaithersburg, Rockville, Silver Spring. It is our community that gives me hope. We're gonna get through this, and it's not gonna be easy, but we love each other. We will look out for each other, and we have to pledge that to each other. County executive has a platform and has moral leadership, and we need a county executive who will continue standing and loving and caring for all of us here.
Thank you. Mr. Barnagy.
Thank you very much. First of all, we need to have hope. We have to be hopeful. But what I will say, hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. Bad times are coming. What you need a leader who listens to you, who meets you, who talks to you, who understands you, who listens to you. Do we have a leader like that in the leadership right now? I have not found that yet. They might, but not to us. Maybe special interests with big pocket money where they can get money. By the way, I'm running for the public finance, and last time $750,000 was the funds that you were going to get. This time it has increased to $870,000 by the current county council, and then 3 of them are running. So they are running, and they are increasing the funds. I said 750 is enough. Now you tell me why our taxes will not go high. Why your families need more money? Thank you.
Mr. Dillon, what keeps you hopeful?
I built this campaign on togetherness. That's just our word. And knowing that we're living in trying times, turmoils with that man in office, who shall not be named. It's time to stand up together. It's time to fight back and let Donald Trump know that we are not going to sit idly by as he targets our counties, as he targets our state. We see what he's doing with our governor back and forth. He's losing sleep. But we know that Maryland as a whole is beautiful. We know that our county is beautiful. So basically what gives me hope every single day as I go to work or I'm in the hospital, it's not division that we need. It's bringing us together and knowing that we have no kings in leadership. So it's more so togetherness and not division. That's what politics needs. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful. All right, so we're at the moment when we have closing statements. It would be 1 minute closing statement. We will start with Councilmember Glass.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. I look forward to the next 9 months, talking with my 4 friends here, talking with all of you and the rest of Montgomery County, because our future is at stake. Not only with Donald Trump, but our economy, our housing stock, and our diversity. And I'm really proud of the campaign that we are building, the coalition we are bringing together. I'm honored to have the support of former U.S. Labor Secretary Tom Perez, who called me the effective, progressive leader we need now. That is what we need. We need people who have a track record of getting big things done by bringing people together and having a moral compass that is going to point forward. So I appreciate all of you. I expect to see a lot of you at these forums moving forward again. And I want to thank the club for kicking us off, because this is an important conversation. It's an important month. And thank you all.
Thank you. Mr. Banerjee.
Thank you very much. Appreciate greatly for hosting us. On my closing remarks, I must say, we need to stop the greed from the government. We don't need $100,000, $200,000 salary when our teachers are making $80,000 to $110,000 and the para-teachers are making 60 to, not even 60, 40 to 60,000 on an average. As I said, as a county executive once elected, I am going to slash my salary almost to half. And all those money goes to the programs of NCPS for free universal childcare. Are these people gonna commit that today? Let me see how many. And I have a list of 100 people making $180,000 in Montgomery County, more than that. It's so shameful, to my personal opinion. We are here in a public service, not here to make money. You want to make money? Go to Wall Street. Or I'd rather drive Uber on my time when I'm free.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Vice President Joanda.
Thank you to the Latino Democratic Club for being the first and kicking us off and getting the juices flowing, and all the work you're doing in our community. Councilmember Navarro, it's great to see you. I believe in something I call the Montgomery County Promise, that everyone should be able to access a great school, a great job, housing that's affordable, and be able to retire with dignity here. And that's not true for a lot of people, but we've got to make more progress towards it. And we've got to stand up to Donald Trump at the same time. I'm really proud of my record for working people. I'm proud to be endorsed by Working Families Party, by LIUNA, who are the folks who pick up our trash and are building the Purple Line, by both County Executive Eldridge and County Executive Brayboy, the two jurisdictions in the state that have the largest Latino population, and my colleagues on the council, Council Members Mink and Council Member Sales. It's because of my record, and I'll work really hard for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Councilmember Friedman.
It is such an honor to be here. We have some real challenges, and it's great to talk about those challenges with you, Councilmember Navarro, with the Latino Democratic Club, with our amazing community. The only way we're going to address these challenges, the only way we're going to effectively be able to fight back against what is happening, the threats to Montgomery County and to our community, is if we come together. If we not only talk about our values, but if we live by our values. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is by everybody being part of this effort. We can't afford to vilify one another. We can't afford to attack one another. We have to come together to address these issues. I am proud to be endorsed by Rita Montoya, who's the other school board member who wasn't mentioned earlier, among many others in our community, half of our state Senate delegation. But the most important endorsement that I am looking for is yours. And I hope to earn it over the next several months. And I hope to be able to talk about the future of our county and how we face these unprecedented challenges as a community together.
Like I shared earlier, I'm one of you. I don't have to have a lot of track record, but my 14 years have not gone unnoticed. I helped pass the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act on a federal level with former Biden, where we have protected our CBI communities, where, you know, you get invited to the White House. Never in my lifetime would I have actually gone there, if not before, because of him and my activism. Like I say, and I'm going to continue to share it, I don't have a lot of experience like they do. And I'm not bashing anybody, because that's not what I am. I'm the only female right now in this race, and I'm 29, younger than most of them here. You're not that old though, but but you're literally, I'm one of you. So you see that I come from work. I'm going to be at these events. I'm going to be there with you. October 18th, downtown Silver Spring, right there by Chick-fil-A. We are doing a No Kings rally to let Donald Trump know we are not standing back. We are not standing down. Thank you
so much. Thank you. Well, a round of applause for these candidates. And I do understand that there's always going to be a lot more questions, but we don't have this amount of time, which is why I'm sure that the candidates will be happy to talk to any of you and answer any other question, but it's always tough because we have limited time. I will only wrap this up by saying the following. I had the privilege of serving here in Montgomery County on the school board as well as the county council. And one of the things that I used to always reflect on is that any time I would leave Montgomery County for whatever reason, for whatever policy meeting, for whatever conference, Montgomery County was always the model. Montgomery County was always the one that was implementing all the best practices. Montgomery County was the one that everybody wanted to learn from, etc. We are really tough on ourselves, and that's fine because it is important, because continuous improvement is critical. But I do think that sometimes we need to take a step back and really take in and be grateful for this community, an extraordinarily diverse community that many people around the country want to tear down because in a way it doesn't fit the rhetoric, it doesn't fit the narrative that a community that is this diverse, not just ethnically, not just racially, but socioeconomically or whatever, that it can't move forward. So I just wanted to say that. I appreciate all of you. I miss all of you. And like I said, I'm sure the candidates will stick around if any of you have any other questions that you may want to ask.